tips on working with spirits to gain more understanding and or knowledge about a given subject matter? Question for Philip and or Bob and Victoria. I know you're into this too, so I'll start this one off with Victoria. Would you like to comment on this?
So first, Michael, I'm not sure if you have any experience with invocation itself. Kind of lower access techniques that you can do is automatic writing or pendulum work. But you really get more the understanding and knowledge when you are able to directly connect with a spirit, invoke them, and have a communication with them, and either be able to see them clairvoyantly, hear them clairaudiently, and feel them clairsentiently. And I really love practice of magical evocation because the spirits in there are very informative, generally very helpful, and they cover so many different subjects, so many subject matters. This morning I invoked a spirit, the seventh spirit of Mercury, who has to deal with fate and some other things. And each spirit is an expertise in these different aspects of creation, but it comes down to really your ability to be able to contact them and know which spirit you're contacting for what they specialize in. And I'll give a little plug for Bob here. It was his mental wandering course in 60 skills that really helped me access invocation and began exploring basically being able to contact spirits. Being able to mental wander is one form of being able to go out, find spirits, connect with them. Also, if you have their seal or sigil, via mental wandering, you can contact them either by bringing them into your mental body or traveling to their domain and talking with them.
Wonderful, thank you for that. And Philip, any tips on working with spirits to gain more understanding and or knowledge about a given subject matter?
Well, as Victoria pointed out, the essence initially is contact. So it depends. Again, it depends on the level of training that the hermeticist has. I would actually recommend something that isn't within the Barden corpus, Pope Runyan's Dark Mirror method. If you've got a magical colleague or magical partner, one of you can act as the conjurer, the seer, in fact, and the other can act as the scribe. That's very good for early contact. In terms of content, I would say that the quality of the content from various GNI spirits, whatever taxonomy you may prefer, depends on the level of theurgy that you can achieve. So the more divine you can bring yourself to. So, for example, the one we're surely all familiar with is Franz Barden's Godhead state, which he sort of introduces in step 9, and the pinnacle is in step 10 of initiation into Hermetics. If you can achieve that level of connection with divine providence, you'll find that the GNI or the spirit is very accommodating towards you. Whereas if you aren't in that state of being, your information that will be obtained from any given being from another plane of existence is going to be of a lower quality. And it's very interesting that the way this is done. When I was doing grimoire work many years ago, I get what seemed a perfectly satisfactory response from the spirit or the GNI or the angel. But then when I worked with that same being via Franz Barden's practice of magical evocation, the same question produced far greater value in terms of content. So basically, it seems to me that these discarnate entities will tune the response to your level of progress. So you can gain an understanding, but only as far as you have reached in your hermetic training. They will I've found discussing online and also socially with other people that they found a similar thing. The geni or the angel or whatever it may be will answer your questions, and then you've got the theurgy much better developed, and they give you an answer to the same question that is far better and much more useful than the original answer, which at the time seemed perfectly fine to you. So the crux, I think, for gaining an understanding and knowledge is to really get good, if you pardon the expression, with the theurgy, with the Godhead work. And I would say that is but you know, in the modern day, ways of contacting different genome spirits seems to be getting gradually easier. And as I say, I really did some great work with Pope Runyan's dark mirror method early on. So yeah.
Bob, this question is also for you, sir. Any tips on working with spirits to gain more understanding, etc.?
Find a method that allows for the clearest communication you're capable of. You know, whether that's mental wandering, the mirror work, things like the crystal method, you know, scrying using a ball, whatever allows for a clearer transmission. Absolutely. The point about the Godhead, absolutely true too. You know, the spirits reflect off of us. So, you know, where we're at in life has a lot to do with what they're going to tell you. But the only main thing I would say is vet any information you get before you take action on it. I mean, listen, I can run into a guy on a street corner who's going to give me a great stock tip, right? Maybe it is, or maybe it's not. You know, my Uncle Bob was a drunk who beat his wife and beat his kids when he was alive. He's not any wiser now that he's dead. So, you know, if you're going to take action on something, make sure you evaluate it first, because some of our friends in the New Age community can be a little gullible, and that can lead you to some interesting places, as is dealing with weirdos in real life can lead you to some interesting places. So just before you decide to do something, change your life, run off to the monastery in the Himalayas or whatever it is, definitely evaluate the information you're being given before you take action on it.
Great response. Yeah, as always, guys, you know, like whatever's coming in, give it that second look.